Melito, Peri, Pascha, sections 3 and 4. Section 3 builds off the last section, and everything here are neuter adjectives referring back to to Pascha Mysterion. So Melito goes on. Peleon men kataton nomon, kenon te kataton logon. Proskeron dieton tupon, aidion dieten charin. So pairs of neuter adjectives referring back to mysterion, the mystery. Paleon is old, kataton nomon. Genon, new, kataton logon. So you get both parallelism and antithesis. According to the law, kataton nomon, kataton logon. New according to the word. So for Melito, nomos και logos are in antithesis. Similarly, proskeron, temporary, dieton tupon, on account of the type or the model. Melito gives us a masterclass in understanding the origins and the development of typology. Proskeron, aidion, eternal, dia ten charin, the grace. That is, for Melito, the contrast is between the model and hecharis, the grace. The grace is the fulfillment of the primary model that he sees in the Old Testament scriptures. Second half of section 3, still same structures, same themes, same ideas. Ptharton, diaten tu probatus phagen, aptharton diaten tu kuriu zoen, thneton diaten esgen tafen, athanaton diaten eknekron anastasin. So again, neuter adjectives all the way through, still talking about to mysterion, perishable, imperishable. In what respect is the mystery perishable? It's perishable diaten asfagen, on account of the slaughter to probatu of the sheep, talking about the slaughter of the sheep in the Hebrew Exodus, the to paskaton hebraikon. Aptharton diaten to kuriu zoen, imperishable in regards or because of the life of the Lord. And I suspect he has in mind here the Johannine scriptures again, Jesus Christos, the life, the resurrection life. And so within this, there's both antitheses between the pairing and antitheses between the things he's talking about, slaughter and life, but also parallelism, sheep and the Lord. And then the second pair, thneton ke athanaton, mortal, immortal. Mortal, diaten is again tafen, on account of ten tafen, the burial, is again into the ground. Immortal, on account of ten anastasin, the resurrection, eknekron, from the dead. A nice parallel here between isgen and eknekron. But there's a bit of conjecture in some of these reconstructions. That's more so in section 4. This is the start of section 4 here. Most of the Greek text of this is restored based on conjecture, based on the surviving Latin texts, basically. And what's interesting is that throughout this section you get the same pairs of adjectives in the same order, at least at the start. But now the subject is shifted, so here we get honomos, hologos, peleos, genos. So now he's not talking about the mystery grammatically, he's still talking about to mysterion, to pascha, at least thematically. So, peleos men honomos, genos te hologos, proskeros hotupos, aidios hecharis, ptharton to probaton, apthartos hokurios. Old is the law. Genos, new, is hologos. Same antithesis, law and word, same adjectives. Old, new. No verbs, no need to provide a verb for a predicate clause. And notice that he's fronted the adjective in every case. So it's very clear that he's saying the law is old. Proskeros, temporary, hotopos, the type, the model, the pattern. Aidios, eternal, hecharis, the grace. The grace itself is eternal. Ptharton, perishable, to probaton, the sheep. Apthartos, hokurios, the Lord, imperishable. pretty straightforward. This section probably the most conjectural. The second half of section 4. Me sunt tribis hos amnos anastathis de hos theos. Ike gar hos probaton is sphagen echthe alugen probaton. And here the pattern changes because there's no expressed subject here. But we've shifted to, these are masculine participles. There's a finite verb here. Another finite verb down here, uk, and the subject throughout all this is ho Christos, the Christ, or some other term. It's talking about ho Jesus Christos. Me sunt tribis, not broken hos amnos as a lamb, anastathis, resurrected de hos theos, but resurrected as God. But resurrected as God. So the hos here is really key, and it continues into the next section as well. I think in Me sunt tribis hos amnos, there's references both to Hebraicon Pascha, the Old Testament Passover, that the bones should not be broken, but also to the use of that theme in John's Gospel in John 19, not one of his bones shall be broken. And then anastathis de hos theos, the contrast between the death of the Lamb and his resurrection as the deathless Lord, the deathless God. Then we get this interesting development of Melito's thought. Ike, the combination Ike, although, so for although hos probaton as a sheep is svagen echthe, as a sheep to the slaughter, and then echthe, passive form from ago, to be led. So for although as a sheep he was led to the slaughter, very clear echo here of Isaiah 53:7, al uk en probaten, but he was not a sheep. Remember the subject, the implied subject here is Jesus Christos. He is not a sheep per se, but hos probaton, as a sheep he is led to the slaughter. Melito's picking up and developing again the typology that gives you a parallelism and an antithesis, and that same structure comes out in the next lines. Ike, same structure, although hos amnos aphonos, al ude amnos en, although as a lamb amnos. So we just had probaton, now we get as a lamb aphonos, alpha privative, not phonos related to phone. So as a lamb, voiceless, speechless, silent. Al ude amnos en, but he was not a lamb. Homen gar tupos aereneto, chede alethia chevrisketo. Just before I get to these two lines, this here again is referring back to Isaiah 53. Melito is full of scripture. Homen gar tupos. This combination of mengar is really, he's providing a summary of everything that has gone before, and then this is essential to his typology. Homen gar tupos, for the type, the model egeneto, was, existed, came to be. Chede alethia, but the truth, that is the fulfillment of the model, the fulfillment of the pattern, evrisketo, is found, has appeared, is realized. That's the contrast for Melito, that in to Pascha, Peri Pascha, the to Pascha to Christu, in the Passover of the Christ, the reality that which the type points to has and is found.